off with again? Because
That's a great question. Where did
we
we
had
leave
bought
off last week?
we had bought the ship. We
Yeah.
had, I guess, Cookie was going to mess around with designs for the ship, but right now it's basically just stock at this point. And I don't think anything we're doing or whatnot is going to affect whatever design he makes isn't going to affect what happens next. Were you picking out a couple potential quests in the same crystal sphere? Did we choose one? Or were we still picking?
I don't believe you did.
Because we had a couple, but I don't think we actually made a decision as to what to do. Because I think we had asked a question on what accounts for exploring an area.
Yeah, we had picked the other one, but we were discussing the exploring one.
Yeah, the other one was to take a person back home, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm fine with this just going ahead and just doing that mission and hope it's a blue milk run.
And you had also wanted to transport goods over, basically fill up the hold except for food and stuff.
Yeah, we had I think we had figured that out, didn't we? We were gonna get like 50 tons ish.
Something like that.
Because we wanted to leave a little bit of extra room, but basically fill up most of it. And yeah, I'd have to pull up the details.
I
But
know
I think we already set that up.
I know Cookie had talked to me at work a little bit about maybe trying to, you know, put an armory on the ship as well, where basically, crew members could check out weapons. Because, the crew members we have only have like I guess I could pull up the PDF.
Like a club.
We
They're basically
hired
on.
we have hired crew or trained crew, so they have a scimitar and a crossbow.
Yeah.
But talking about maybe fill it with spears and leather armor and stuff instead, and allow them to. If the ship is attacked, like, hey, we're being attacked, we go to the armory and pull out some weapons better than what you have.
They do have light crossbows, not crossbows.
Okay.
I mean, scimitars aren't bad though.
It's a D6, so not bad.
Yeah, but so we probably spent a little bit of gold on getting some basic gear. Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was a consideration.
I'm pretty sure we agreed to spend some. We just didn't define the exact gear.
Just so you guys are aware, the info I gave Cleoc a while ago about mercenary employment is different wages, but they're also for higher skill. Basically, people who would be classified as, adventurers more so than just sailors. The sailors that are mentioned in the document are just that. They're just sailors. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do anything else. Whereas if you actually get, Marines, for example, historically on ships were used for actually attacking ships and stuff. The sailors don't want the combat. They just want straight do their job.
Right.
Whereas
they will, of course, defend the ship if necessary, but
it's more they'll defend themselves if necessary.
But they didn't sign on the ship to for us to go seeking out pirates or stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't want danger. In fact, you might have to give them a bonus to keep them around if you do stuff too dangerous.
So we should look at hiring some mercenaries or some soldiers along with our ship crew, some Marines. But for this mission, I assume that sailors are okay with it if our mission is supposed to be peaceful and then we happen to get attacked.
Yeah, I mean, they still may want additional compensation if it's too dangerous or if they're put too far into it. But if it's, happenstance, there's some risk involved. Of course, you're flying through space, but what kind of choices you choose will determine what kind of aspect that has on their loyalty. Are they going to stay loyal, or are they going to mutiny, or try to just bail ship at the next port?
So here's a quick question. I assume the mercenaries or marines you're talking about,
Mercenaries is a better term for them. I was just giving a historical example.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, marines, I believe, are also capable of sailing the ship, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just like standing
Usually.
around as soldiers.
Some were, some weren't. But the mercenaries certainly you could be. I mean, it's optional. They don't have to be, but they could be crew.
Yeah. So we could hire a few mercenaries and then the rest crew. Without affecting the amount of manpower we need, is my thought.
Yeah, which the mercenaries are mainly, they definitely cost a lot more, but they give you a chance to actually have fighting capable individuals. And I mean, if you look at cracked crew, or not cracked, crack crew above trained or even trained, they're not all that impressive of individuals. I mean, they get a whomping +3 on their checks. That's only +1 above the green crew, so, it's not great.
Right.
Well, I assume we're not going to hire an entire crew of mercenaries.
Probably need to start with anyways, since it's expensive. I'm just saying you might want to later on, potentially, depending on what you guys decide to do. I mean, if you want to go pirate hunting, you're more likely to want a crew full of
bunch of mercenaries.
that than the other.
So, as a question to the party that's currently here, I'm assuming that we're not planning anything violent. We don't need to hire mercenary crew for this mission. We could hire a few just in case, but
I would assume that our recently freed companions would be the mercs that we'd want.
Give me just one moment, and I will be back. You guys can keep discussing.
I think
I don't-
the crew we
I don't-
have sorry, go ahead.
I don't think we need to hire any additional mercenaries for this expedition because, I mean, any combat, if we do somehow get attacked, I mean, we're not looking at actually attacking anybody, and if we somehow do get accosted by pirates, we've got 10 player characters basically acting as what our mercenaries are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was thinking. And you're right, the alternate characters, actually, they're probably better than the mercenary crew, but the mercenary crew is probably somewhere in between normal crew and our alternate characters.
Right.
But, I mean, and if we really want to talk about it, we could hire like 5 or something.
I think we're fine without anyone, at least for this mission.
Yep. All right, I'm good with that. So at that point, when Nick gets back, can we set sail?
Sure. There's 5 player characters and 6 additionals because of squeaks.
Right.
Pretty cool. I like our new characters, but because we dropped them all in at once, like, it's still a little overwhelming.
I agree. Playing two characters is hard, especially if I'm to have a conversation with myself.
Yeah.
Especially since it's like, Doran is very not like Leok. He's very charismatic, outgoing, kind of a jerk, flamboyant.
Kind of a jerk. I thought you said he wasn't like yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate having the characters' secondary names in the voice chat. It is helpful. I saw you had done that and added it to mine as well.
I was going
it's gonna
to
be
try
really.
and
Go ahead.
I was gonna try and have my alternate character always be a cat, so it'd be really, really easy. Like, oh, there's a cat. Meow, meow.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Oh.
So, your mechanical servant, does he scale with you, or?
I'm unsure. It depends on the rule set or DM1.
Okay.
That has been a traditional problem of mechanical servants and ranger companions.
Right.
Companion animals now, there's a couple of different scaling guides. So,
Because at higher levels, your pet becomes more of a liability than an asset. Although your companion is more of a, it's a nice class feature, but it's not a defining feature of your archetype. It's still your Thunder Cannon.
Yes, but it's the only way I get a second attack.
Great.
Unless I take a feat later on.
So having the ranger's pet is a liability. Having a ranger is a liability at the higher levels.
Yeah.
Really?
Rangers can be quite useful.
I'm mostly joking because I've played a high level ranger before. But when you compare it to things like a high level wizard that's just like, yeah, I'm just going to call down God's wrath from the sky, the ranger's like, I can get us over there.
Right, so when you're playing certain classes and you see certain feats in that are like, oh, this like breaks things, makes it super strong, just do it. Because you're going to be outranked later on anyway. So if you do something that
So I believe it's fair to say that my monk has been an all-star at the beginning of this campaign.
Yep.
But everyone is going to basically catch up to me because I'm not going to be doing like much more damage or anything like that. All of my remaining like class skills and stuff are just more flavorful more than they are powerful, if that makes any sense.
Can you take sentry and stuff?
Like feats.
The sentry allows you to basically do a stunning strike on someone that is as a reaction when they leave your area. Opportunity attack. Or if they hit your teammate and you're within range.
I've thought about, certain feats, but the thing about it is that, Dex and Wisdom are just so powerful for Monk.
Yeah.
That it's really hard to sacrifice those stat points for a feat.
Yeah, I didn't take any feats for mine because I needed Dex. Because my Dex was low. And it was hurting me too bad on attack.
And even then, I know there's not very many of them, but if I did take a feat, I'd probably try and take a feat that also gave me 1 point of Constitution.
Yeah.
Because I'm at 13 con.
I, certain weapon types. A gun makes sense to have dex involved, but a a half cannon gun, kind of with lots of kick, makes more sense to me to have strength be its stat. So without reading as much as I should have, I made it a stronger character than it needed to be. Also, it's a dwarf, so it made sense to be strong. But I don't know. I might have reversed those stats at the beginning.
But characters should be more than their stats. Yeah.
Well,
You're talking about being... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, also, initially I had rolled for stats, and then he told me to use the set stat. And I was looking at it and like, but the set stat's so much lower.
Uh-huh. But they're fair for everyone because they're low for everyone.
Yes, they are.
Whereas I've rolled like 18s and like almost 18s across the board once.
Yeah, my brother just rolled a new class for his campaign, and he's got all highs. I'm like, you need to get fair dice.
Yeah.
And he's like, these are the dice the DM gave me. I'm like, then you're gonna get slaughtered because his beasts are gonna roll heavy on attack damage. And you're squishy. Your stats do nothing about your squishiness when you start. It just makes them want to make more powerful creatures with more HP. It messes up the scaling of the game.
Yeah, I'd say honestly, doing anything that keeps the scaling consistent is important because, like, in the other campaign we did with Nate, where we were we're Gestalt, so you get 2 full classes every level.
Oh.
Like, it is so ridiculously broken statistics wise. Like, besides, you know, epic beasts like Trask or whatever, like, I'm pretty sure Nate gave everything triple health or quadruple health.
For story reasons, I would love to every third level or something be able to double class it and not have to pick, but doing double every time is insane.
Yeah, it's well, and there's if you min max it, the combinations you can get are crazy.
I've heard of John talk about. It's like, yeah, my guy did like 200 damage in the turn. Like, what?
Yep. Oh yeah, the stuff you got like Matt was casting like quadruple fireballs per turn. I don't know how, but he was doing it. It literally was happening. He's like, okay, I'll just do 4 fireballs, and here's the damage, and everything's dead.
Just not fun.
I mean, if you enjoy building massively min-maxed super stat characters, it's fun. If you enjoy that, but
fun if there's no danger.
Well, so in order to make it dangerous, that just means all of the monsters have like quadruple stats as well. So like you quadruple the health of everything, which then comes with the same problem of if you make or you fight things that are much higher level, then you have to worry about accidentally TPKing because you're overestimated something or underestimated something. I think if you're gonna do random rolls, I would have to do something like, here's the maximum stats you could have, here's the minimum stats you can have.
I really like the flavor rolling stats. I like that little bit of randomness, but like you say, it can unbalance things really quickly.
Well, and I think the worst thing is you have one person in the party who rolled really awesome stats for their class and one person who rolled really bad stats. Then how do you balance encounters where you don't kill the bad stats or be too easy for the good stats?
Right.
So I think it makes more work for the DM, which is why I understand just saying, here's a list of stats, choose them.
Standard array, go.
Everyone is balanced, assuming they don't make stupid decisions about their, class, but then that's on them. Kleok, you were mentioning you were really OP at level 1. Warlock is really pretty OP at level 1 compared to a lot of the other classes.
I wasn't thinking just level 1, just the beginning of this campaign in general, because here I am, attacking, twice at level 1, 3 times at like level 2.
Yeah, you definitely were good, and I think probably it seemed more OP because we didn't have a tank for a while. So you were tanking and damaging, like being the tank and the damager.
It wasn't even the tank, but the thing about it is that, okay, we had Cookie, who is basically a non-combatant as far as damage goes. Great healer, great spells, not doing damage at all.
Basically a bard.
Yeah.
Wait, he started as a bard.
He did start as a bard, but he didn't have a damage cantrip. He didn't. He was like a dagger or maybe a rapier, but I don't remember. We had his brother, who had a damage cantrip. But he's only attacking once. Yonovan, who's yes, your thunder cannon's awesome, but the first 5 sessions you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it.
That was because of the dice.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry for bringing it back.
The game dice, the tabletop dice are not fair dice. They do not. I do not know what their seed value is, but they do not roll fairly.
they're not fair for you. Do you have a pirated version of
No, I don't.
the
game? $20-$30, I think.
Yeah, dude, that would be a great way to punish pirating players.
Yeah, that would be.
Because they wouldn't know, but all of their D&D characters would just die. Just give them horrible
Yeah, no. When I
chance.
roll my own in real life, I roll fine. I roll normal. I roll some high, some low.
But either way, it took a.
But I paid $40 for real nice dice.
Rio, I can't remember if you were weapons early or Eldritch Blast early, but I guess what I'm getting at is that I was getting multiple attacks, and I seem to be the only one who was getting their their stat modifier to their damage.
So the creatures that we were attacking had ACs higher than us.
Right.
And that's not quite right for level 1s. So we were fighting stuff that were a little bit goblins with shields. I mean, come on. That's just messed up.
Why is it so messed up?
Well, granted, we supposedly he balanced it for having 10 characters the first session.
Yeah.
5 people were showing up.
Early on, it was very inconsistent population, so it made it very tricky because there was no real form of consistency.
But I guess what I was getting at is that not only was I getting multiple attacks before everyone else, I seemed to be the only one whose stats or class allowed me to add my stat bonus, in this case Dex, to damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until Saradin came along.
Because Rio, you're blade block, right?
Yep.
So you haven't taken any of the stuff that makes your Eldritch Blast like super powerful. You haven't taken Agonizing Blast, right?
Not yet.
When Ryu does use a blade, she does get
Yeah.
strength to hit. So she does sometimes, but not always.
Right.
Well,
I'm just saying, using Eldritch Blast is still it's a D10, and a D10 is super nice for a damage cantrip, but you can
Yeah.
still roll the 1.
yeah, and my normal attack spells, they weren't the greatest. They could have been really useful. Actually, there's a couple of times when they were really useful, but
Yeah.
there's also a lot of times where it was like kind of useless.
I don't know how much you've been listening to, Nate, but we basically decided we don't have anything else we want to really do import, so we want to make sure that we have our goods. We have picked up our client. I don't know if we want to roleplay any all that or not.
And then set off to our destination.
All right. Well, my headset wasn't charged, so I left it. It looks like it's charged now. So no, I missed all of it.
Okay.
But hey, I can watch it later. Okay. So if you guys are
But
good
we
to
were
go.
talking about early game and character balance, and we spoke a lot on whether we wanted to hire any mercenaries, and we have decided for this mission that we will not.
Okay.
We'll just go with our standard crew.
Okay. That works. And were you just gonna do the one mission, or were you checking on the second mission, or what was the plan on that?
I think we decided we were definitely doing the goods, and taking the one person. Oh, I didn't write it down.
We decided to skip the exploration one for now. We'll just try and make it a nice, simple test cruise as we get used to our ship. So, all of the stuff that we'd figured out last game, but nothing else new.
Okay. The two missions you guys had were an elf who seeks to have the Shattered Land explored, and a sage seeks to have his daughter escorted safely to Halfhild.
Yeah. I guess if we want to, since it won't hurt anything, we could spend a little bit of time and see what the exploration accounts for. But I don't know. Anyway, the thing that's always happening is that we need to go meet with Pefipo the Sage. Is that how?
How'd you say it?
I wanted to add an extra P, but I don't. It's a PH. So is it Pepipo or Pefifo or
Yeah, looks like it.
Pefipo?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it probably would just be Halfipo.
Yeah, that's harder for me to say than I'd like to admit.
You don't do well with strange names, I've noticed.
Yes, that's correct. I get very tongue-tied.
There's a reason I don't even try to pronounce them.
I'm very bad at it. I'm just bad
Okay.
at speaking in general, so that's why Cleoc has a charisma of 8.
Yeah.
Of course, Doran has a charisma of 16, so yeah. But who cares about that guy?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome.
Welcome, Cookie.
Greetings.
Sorry, an opportunity came up, so I had to take it.
You didn't really miss anything, so.
Aww.
We've
missed
kind
a
of been
lot of
spinning our
strategizing.
wheels because everyone came about 30 minutes late, and we spent the last 30 minutes. Nate's been reading to his kid, and we've been speaking on like, hey, do we want to hire actual mercenaries for a ship beyond our crew? Which we decided no. Which missions are we going to take? Which we decided we're probably going to take the escort, the daughter, but we're not going to take the explore the ruins unless you have something to say on that.
You convinced Ryu to relent on that? Because he
He's been
was
the one
really
that's-
interested in that.
He's kind of
I
been the
just
one.
wanted to.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to know what the details, like what that entailed, because we hadn't done any explore missions at all. But at this point, I'd rather us get going on the cruise. I realized at the end of the last session, like, we should just get going and, play rather than
Okay.
discuss playing.
Well, I computed a set of equipment that could be bought. And so we've got some 6,000 gold. So I'll run this by you guys. It's on the order of 2,000 gold pieces to fully buy food supplies for 6 months. Which is what I would expect full stock to be. You guys have a problem with us buying that all up right now, or
No, none.
Go for it.
What?
okay?
Not having to worry about starving sounds like a great thing to have.
Okay,
Oh, you have great food and water, right, Cookie?
no, that would make a difference. The other things that I calculated out, I have been trying to approximate what sort of build we need to make out of this thing, but the in addition to having basically a daily cost that we can pay, since we're doing a day-by-day adventure thing, I've got a suggestion of what we could stock our armory with, but that's also one of the things I don't know if we really need to start out stocking our armory or kind of do that as we go. Because the sailors that we hire they come with their own gear. So we can't really do a whole lot to improve on that. Maybe some armor and some spare like crossbow bolts and stuff. Anyway, maybe I'd be better off just sending an email out when we're not in session.
Either way. You'd mentioned possibly doing the deck. Had you made a decision on that?
I hadn't had any time to work it, but I'm interested in it.
Okay. Then we'll basically say that you designed it and then see if you can get it for next time.
Yeah.
And we'll go for it then.
Okay.
All right. So, as for the Explorer, you'll have to look into that if you decide you want to do it, to find out what the requirements and stuff are. Otherwise, if you just want to do the escort mission, you just need to pick her up and get underway.
Let's just get underway. Pick her up and get underway.
Yeah.
Just
We've got the government cargo, right?
Yep.
I assume Kliak got that, or
Yeah.
was it Kliak?
Mm-hmm.
Government
Okay.
cargo, 3 tons, passage to Garganov entry has been waived.
Okay.
Or that's what I wrote down, but basically we won't have to
Yeah.
any like sentry ships or whatever that stop us will be we have the papers.
Great.
Show me your papers.
All right, and so off you do fly.
Who is at the helm?
However, before you do pick up your ward. Who's doing that?
Sounds like Doran wants to.
Oh God. Doran, would you be so kind as to pick up our charge for this mission? Like, who is it?
Female, noble woman of some sort.
Oh, no, some sort
Ooh.
of-
What race?
Don't know.
Sure, I will go pick up our charge. Where do I go? Who do I pick this? Who do I report to for this? I know who it is. Out of character, but
Well, Kliak can tell Dor.
you're gonna make me talk. Well, the bill mentioned a man named Pafipo. I assume it's a man. A person named Pafipo the Sage is seeking a company to escort his daughter safely to the city of Hafeld in Garganov. You need to go seek him out and figure out all the details and bring her back here. A company, huh? I can handle this by myself. I don't need anyone else. You should take, who else?
Odon will go with.
Saradin will go with me?
We have Aerolith, Saradin, Kliak, Ryu, Freyan, Hestra. I am Group. Yanovan, Cookie, Nurasil.
I am group. Group stands forward.
No offense. Should I say I am group or just group? Group for short. Group for short is good, right? Right? Is that okay? Raise your right tree branch if me calling you group is just okay.
How do you feel about his request for you to call you Group?
I don't care what he calls me.
He said he does not mind either way.
Got it. No offense, group, but to be fair, I'm afraid you might scare the guy.
I am group.
I'm glad we could come to an understanding. Who do I want to call out? Do you want to call out all the alt people? since we were all rescued together, well, crap.
Do you want a pair of twin black dragonborn, I believe it was? Do you want a elven lass, a gnomish lass, a mouse?
Actually, let's take all the newcomers, even group.
Cookie is definitely busy trying to get supplies situated.
This could be your first mission for us. Let's see how you.
go ahead.
Yeah, as a point of order, basically, all the people that were rescued, the 6, are part of the Seekers now. They're basically, unless you guys choose not to, they're initiated into that group.
So Cleoc tells the new people that we're busy finalizing the details on the ship and the first voyage. If you would go talk to the Pafifo the Sage and inquire more about this job, it would be great. On it, boss. Let's go.
So, Ryu is inspecting the ship and outfitting the navigation gear, and a cat is going to jump back into Group's tree branches.
Ah, yes, I almost forgot you. You can come along too.
Does Group understand this? Are you speaking Weird Cat or a version of Sylvan?
You know, I'd never asked what if druids speak in their beast form. Does it come out as what that animal would speak, or does it come out as normal?
Well, since they can't cast spells, typically it's not going to come out as normal.
I thought it
so
just
it's
came
probably
out
going
as
to be
whatever the
just
animal
what
does.
the beast would say. Yeah.
So at that point, can you understand it?
No. I mean, I can speak with animals, but you're no animal. So, gap in ruling. That's where the telepath wins.
Anyway, let's go talk to this Pafifo. Cleoc, do you know where he's at? No. I haven't really looked it up yet. Haven't gotten that far. I think it was Rio who found this, right? Was it Rio? Anyway, Doran's investigation's pretty terrible, so
I'm lagging.
I don't think it was Ryu. I think Ryu did the transporting goods.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh.
It was Jonovan who.
Yeah, it was Jonovan. I thought it might have been Cookie that did that.
Wait. What am I getting accused of?
Finding the original quest, the rescue
Finding
fair,
two
or
missions.
transport for Meriden.
Cookie found it.
That's what I thought.
Anyway. I'm not sure. For next time, I'll figure out a way how Doran would persuade his way into finding our charge, but I can't think of one off the top of my head at the
Cookie
moment.
yells back, "Dude, just check the signpost.
Right.
How many bars have I been to on this rock?"
I was trapped in a soul gem for like over 100 years. Thank you very much.
Did they not have post?
It's been a while since I've been here.
Did they not have post back then?
That being said, it is very different from last time you were here, Doran.
Huh.
It's like totally foreign. Almost. Many different buildings and locations and things like that.
That's fair.
Imagine that, feeling familiar and being constantly lost.
So out of character, but kind of in character. I think one of the original 6 needs to go with us because they know the town better than we do.
Who would you like to go with you?
If that's Cleoc, that's fine.
I'm letting the group pick. It's a group decision. Groups pick.
Cookie's, he's too busy.
What's Yonovan, Cleoc, Cerdan,
I don't.
Narsil?
Well, Cleoc's probably not too busy to go, so.
Or Neurocell could come.
If that is what the group wishes, I can do that.
Yeah, Narsil. Light their way.
Actually, Cleoc will go with them just to watch to see how the newcomers handle themselves.
Oh, okay.
So Cleoc leads the group to the job board and sees who the
Where Papio the Sage is,
or
maybe chilling out.
not the petitioner. What was the? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name.
Our halfling friend?
The broker.
So you're going to go to the broker?
Yes.
Broker Giles.
But it may not be Giles who did this. Is it Giles who posted this job?
Well, most of the ones that you guys have taken have been posted by Giles.
Yeah.
Or... I'm trying to find the other one. Tiva. I think was the other one. Yeah. This one is actually, is not Giles. It's Teve.
Oh,
Okay.
Teve.
okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are
Do
going.
you all remember who Teve is?
I have no idea.
Wait. Is this the guy who tried to wrap us into a magical contract?
No.
Okay.
Tiv is a female dwarf who you met early on in your dealings with space.
She's the one who basically more or less got the old captain out of his job and freed us.
Oh.
Indeed.
Is that the one Yonovan hit on?
Yonovan, did you hit on her?
Do not recall any of this. It's possible.
That's quite possible.
That is quite.
She seemed to have higher standards, I believe.
I do not
was
recall
over a
that
year
either.
ago.
It's been a while since we've seen the Lady Teve. Let's go meet with her.
Now, just for a reminder for those of you who have forgotten, she is the one who you collected a object from the goblins for her as your first mission for Captain Emrakul.
Ah.
And
Yes.
in doing so, she saw your value and assisted him in finding a loophole to get you freed from the unfortunate circumstance he was forced into with the flesh dealers. And so, the reason you were free and not in the clutches of the flesh dealers is partially thanks to her.
Yes.
But the only one who's in that case that's going to see her is Cleoc.
Yep.
Correct.
So the
Unless one of the rest of you decide to go with her.
What does Yonovan think of going to see her again?
too busy getting his work done.
She's not that great. I got work to do.
She's too uppity anyways. She's actually an aristocrat, she is,
Snobbery types. Look down on engineers.
too noble for him.
Doesn't understand the value of a good craftsman.
I actually owe a debt of gratitude to her for getting the original myself
Yes, out
and
of
our
contracts.
original companions out of a bad spot.
Contract.
So please behave yourself, Doran. What?
Don't try to impress her. It won't go well. I say from my workshop.
Meow meow meow.
Is that from personal experience?
Yeah, I remember giving her some fine gloves, and it was nothing. Like, meh.
All right, let's go. Time's a wasting.
Just to remind all the players,
It was
this
elven gloves.
lovely
Oh.
dwarven artificer gave a dwarven aristocrat elven gloves.
It didn't say elven gloves in the description. It's just like fine
It did.
gloves. Don't recall that.
Okay. You found out they were elven afterwards, but
Yeah, I found out they're elven after. It wasn't very
Anyway.
they were elven.
It was for persuasion roll, and it was negatively helpful. Detrimental.
She was polite about it, but yeah.
Ish.
All right, so you guys
Anyway.
go over to her location. You actually find out she's in another building that she has, that she owns. And so you go from the inn to the address you're given, and you go into this, it's a workshop somewhat similar to what Yonovan has, but a lot more fine-tuned. It's not like blacksmithing, it's more tinkering. So similar to what Yonovan does, but it seems to be very fine crafts, very details.
Clean.
Yes, that too.
Yonovan might be sad he missed out on this.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing Kleak thinks, since he's the only one from the original group here.
Yep.
Oh man, I bet Yonovan wishes he could see this. So you enter.
We do enter.
What do you do when you enter?
Do I see anybody?
You do not.
Is there some sort of...
There's a counter, and there is a wall. A doorway off to the right.
I
But it looks
examine
like
the
this is
counter
kind of
for
the
some
area.
sort of bell or something.
You step up to the counter, start looking around, you see nothing, and then you hear, "How may I help you?"
Miss Teve. I hope.
Yes, Kleak.
I'm surprised you remember me. I never properly said thank you all way back then.
Well, no one
so
should be
thank
put
you.
in that circumstance. Certainly glad to help, then. What can I do for you?
Yes, we're here to inquire about a job you posted.
All right. You
As
see
I
after a little bit, she comes from out back up to the counter. Has some metalworking tools for doing some fine craft.
And I show her the bill. Says like, this man or this person named Pafifo we would like to take on this job.
Ah, yes. So you are looking to pick up Adad.
ADAD. ADAD. I don't know. AEDAD. Excellent. Where may we meet her?
Yes, I can give you the location she's at and let her know that you're...
That would be kind of you.
Hmm?
See, that would be very kind of you.
Certainly. She has black hair and grayish eyes. She usually wears kind of more scholarly garments, so nothing too Goddish, and she usually has a ginger-colored familiar with her, ferret with her. She is at an inn here in town.
Excellent. Anything else we should know, like special conditions for this particular job that you know of?
Provide decent food. It's probably good to do, but other than that, it should be fine.
Well, I'm sure our cook will endeavor to do a fine job of that.
I've heard you've had a pretty fine cook in your group.
Yes, the man aptly named or goes by Cookie
Well, that
is
fits his
quite
name then.
a good cook. Not his real name,
I see.
but we've he's gone by Cookie so much, I forget that his name is Theodore.
I was like, can anyone actually name him?
There you
It
go.
is actually in my document. Your name's Theodore Johnson.
Very nice.
Nice work.
Poison.
Thanks, Sheridan. Little goofball.
So, yes, you will be able to find her in the inn of the Indigo Cup.
Excellent.
And which direction is that from here?
Who are you?
Sorry, my character can't speak. So retcon. I am group. Wait, is any fire present in this room?
Is what?
Any fire present in this room? Okay.
Not in this room.
My
There's
apologies.
an amulet of a flame, but not actual flame.
Not worried.
My apologies, Lady Tiev. These are some new companions that will be traveling with my group, the Seekers. The one you just heard is named. I haven't figured out whether it's I am group or just group yet, but it doesn't seem to mind either way.
Is there anything you'd like to add? I am group.
No.
The mouse folk identifies himself as Squeak. The half elf is named Doran, and he bows and says, "Charmed, my lady."
You're half elf, right? Doran's
Yes.
half elf? I would say the same to you if it was not for half of you.
I get that a lot, but it has hardened my heart so much. But I will persevere. Yeah, he's a little flamboyant, but he says he's one of the best ever. So we're going to find out eventually. And then we have. See, I introduced the easy ones. And then we have Freyan. Meow.
Interesting.
Who is the Freyan Jonathan's ward elf character. And then we have, I would have to scroll up for views.
Aerolith is there.
Aerolith is Ceridan's character.
And this is Aerolith.
Hestra is Ryu's new character.
And the cat is, I guess,
Hestra.
a very very shy druid named Estra. Anyway, it'll be an interesting,
Cleac Nurasil's
maybe
there as well, and she's like,
Ah.
and you've mentioned all of them. Who is this gentleman?
and Norse still.
Just dead blank face. Hello.
And it just all of us, have. Well, actually, Cleoc won't say anything else beyond that. Anyway, thank you for your time.
So the blank one's
I am
what?
Groot.
Less
Bows.
strange than a tree and a mouse and a cat.
Not strange, but more. I don't know what I would say to that because I'm sure she's seen very many different characters and races and stuff.
I don't know that any of you have actually figured out what race Nurasil actually is.
We just don't
That's
see
interesting.
race like that.
Did what?
We
We
just
don't see race like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, thank you very much, Lady Tiev. We will be off.
You as well, Cleoc. Have a fine day. And so, Cleoc, you take your band of merry individuals to the Indigo Cup.
Yes, sir.
Very well. You get there, you see it's a fairly fine establishment. A lot of the interior decorations are a nice indigo color.
Out of character question. This was I should have written down what the name of the giants were. But are all the buildings made to accommodate giants? Because I'm thinking about I am group being quite large, and so may not actually be able to fit many of these establishments.
I can duck my head and fit through any door frame.
I wasn't
I'm
sure
not-
how big I am group was. I don't know what.
Okay, so it should be obvious to you but it hasn't been said, so I'll say it. I'm about 7.5 foot, probably. I'm on the upper edge of medium, and based on
So basically, about as tall.
you're
as
not going to pick me up. Let's just say that.
But I could say probably about the same height and weight as like Sarah then.
I'm heavier.
Of course. But
So he's below most roof heights, but not doorways. So he has to duck through doorways, and then he can stand up.
Yeah.
That's fair. I wasn't sure if group was some like a 9 or 10 foot monstrosity that would have problems.
No, I am not large size.
Okay.
And which means I can fit through most medium spaces just fine. Your standard 5 foot hallway is 8 feet high.
Right. That's fair. Anyway, we go to the end of the Indigo Cup.
Very well. You get there to see a very fine establishment with indigo colored drapery for the windows and the seat padding and a nice silverish wood for the chairs. So it's a very nice, like, silver and indigo colored establishment.
Okay. Perception check to see if our person is in here. Which would
See
be
what you get.
looking for someone with black hair, gray eyes, even though I probably can't tell that from a distance.
Black
And
lady
a
can.
ginger-colored ferret familiar, and that's a nat 1.
You see, it's an establishment.
I am group looks for a ferret. Ferrets are friends.
That's a
I am
7
a-
on Cleoc's check, but yeah.
What'd you get, group?
That's a perception or survival. Either way, 16.
You do not see a ferret.
No comment.
I don't see our client here anywhere.
You see a individual at the counter.
Yes. Cleoc will go up to the counter and ask, "Hello, sir, madam." I don't know. I don't know if I can't remember if you even said a guy or girl or just a person at the counter.
It is a female human. Fairly large build.
Hello, ma'am. May I ask you a question?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for a person named Adad. Is she here?
Certainly. What do you need her for?
I'm here to ask her about a job that was posted in on one of the job boards. Without saying up.
I see. Well, let me see if she's available.
Thank you.
A little time later. She says she's currently enjoying her meal and will be with you later. Is there anything I can get you?
How much later, do you think?
I mean, she says she's done her food.
I am Groot? Huh.
We can wait. Doran hops up to the bar.
Would you care, sir, some pottage or porridge? Mutton? A drink?
I'll take some mutton.
Privately, I am Groot raises his arm holding the cat, assuming still holding a cat. I am Groot? Indicating at the door. I am leaving. Do you want to stay?
Cat hadn't heard anything yet. The tree says he's leaving. Would you like to stay or would you like to leave with him, Cat?
I prefer to stay with the tree. I feel more comfortable when I'm around nature.
The cat says she will stay with you.
Oh, thank you, little one. Tree. Tree. I am Groot turns and steps outside.
To Cleoc, you hear this in your head. I am Groot says he will wait outside.
Well, whatever he wants. Anyway,
was it Doran?
would you like? Yeah.
Was it Doran who said he wanted mutton?
Yeah.
Very
Anyone
good,
else?
Sir. Would you like roast mutton with cabbage, or would you prefer a salted mutton with some cheese?
Love it. Love it, sir.
How about mutton chops?
I'll have the roasted mutton.
That is 12 coppers.
It's cheap.
I didn't have any money with me. Hey, Cleoc, can you pay for my meal? Yeah, I kind of. And Cleoc's like, you guys don't. Oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. I'll pay for whatever these guys want.
Very
So
well,
Cleoc,
fine sir. Very well. What can I get you?
Cleoc would take the same thing.
She's like, we
Which
don't
is
see many of your wise, noble breed here. But I always enjoy speaking with newcomers.
yeah, this is you know, quite the place.
Thank you. If you guys do notice, her tone has changed now that you're customers. She's a little more elegant, and now that she sees you're actually someone worthwhile.
That's fair.
She goes back and pulls out a golden-looking feather Cleoc. She's like, the last one of your fellows that came actually was this color. Very nice individual.
Ah, you don't see very many golden colored. Actually, I don't know what. Or that is some fine plumage.
Yeah, it's very
So-
fine. It's a bit smaller than what you're used to seeing on those of your species, but you know there are smaller forms of your species as well.
Right. Certainly, that individual took care of himself well.
Indeed. Well, if there is anything else the rest of you need, I will be happily able to help. After
Doran's like, oh, might as well make ourselves comfortable if we gotta wait.
pick a table, or you can sit here at the bar. And so, after a good 30 minutes plus, she comes back up to you, Cleoc, and is like, she says she will meet you shortly if you wish to sit in the table in the corner there. And she gestures to a corner of the inn that no one's currently sitting in.
Very well.
After
Shall we?
those who wish to sit over there, you see a black-haired individual stand up with some fairly fine but not ornate blue garments, stands up, and as she turns, you see she has some very nice gloves as well, and you see around below her hood very black hair, except for a little bit of reddish hair around her neck. As she walks towards you, Cleoc.
Lady Adad, I presume?
Indeed, and you were requesting me for some reason.
Yes, we picked up a job that I never figured out. I don't think we ever figured out if Pafifo is a man or a woman. But Pafifo had requested that we escort you to the city of Halfeld in Garganov.
Indeed. And Cleoc, just so you're aware, Pefifo is his daughter. So that would mean he is
His. Yes, I could have, I don't know how many times I've read that.
Just thought I would throw that out there for you.
It's been a long day.
Oh, I know. That is why I'm being nice about it. So,
Had requested that we escort you to Hefeld. We are doing the final preparations on being able to leave, and we will be able to leave shortly.
Ah, excellent. When would you be ready?
That's a good question.
You can say, Cleok, that Cookie would have told you when you guys plan on leaving.
Cookie, when do we plan on leaving?
I would actually. So the reason Cookie was not available to go with you is that he was putting the finishing touches onto it. You would expect to be able to depart today.
Guys,
Within the hour? Within a few hours? What are you thinking?
I think he,
How
he
late in the
assumed
day
you
is
could
it?
have gone, gotten it, and come back and been ready to depart. So probably he'd be waiting for you by this point.
guys, the airlift at the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
There's an airlift
Are
at the
we
ship.
ready to go?
We took one half of you.
And the other one's acting as a relay. So are we ready to go?
Cookie.
yeah, we're ready. The ship is ready. Mm-hmm.
So Cookie
We're,
sees
we're
the
sitting
airlift
around
come up
waiting.
to him and asks,
Okay. So if the ship's getting ready, it's like, okay. We can leave at your earliest convenience.
ah, excellent. Who is going to be available to carry my luggage there?
And that's why I didn't come.
Cleok, so you're aware. Doran is probably kind of a little bit stunned.
Doran's just staring. Oh, I will happily take your luggage. Help
You can
take your
go
luggage.
ahead and expound upon what I sent you for Doran's perspective.
Ah.
She is human, but
Interesting.
so
I actually need to brush up on my lore is to see how a half elf would actually react to that. If that makes any sense.
the meaning is more that she's very fair and fine.
Yes.
So she
The
shows
Doran
you.
speaks up. Like, can I say that you're also very beautiful?
You may, but it would be unadvised.
And Cleok glares at him. It's like, Doran, behave yourself. Out of character. Don't make me send you back to the ship, young man.
Doran sees a couple eyes that are like blood red look at him from right next to her neck.
Ah, I seem to have offended your friend. My apologies.
She shows you to the room, and you guys are able to get her luggage and get on the ship.
Is there a warlock hiding in that weasel?
We'll give Doran the chance to not stick his foot further in his mouth unless he chooses to.
Yeah. No, he remains mostly silent. He whispers to himself, man, I've lost my touch over the last 100 years. Not out loud where anyone could hear, of course.
Roll a stealth check.
Roll a stealth
As you're
check.
being watched. Basically, how subtly you're able to speak. And have it be stealth Probably charisma.
Stealth charisma. That would be that's Cleoc's character sheet. That's not the one I want to use. That would be a 18.
It works out perfectly. Nurisil comes up next to Doran. It's like, is there something wrong with being trapped for 100 years that changes things?
But you heard that?
I did.
It's man, I really am getting sloppy. I'm gonna have to.
Nurisil, the ever vigilant stoic.
It's like wow. I wouldn't worry about it, kid.
I am no kid, but I appreciate the sentiment.
You really need to get out more.
I
And
get
Doran
out
walks
with my
off.
friends often.
Doran completely ignores that and just walks off with the helping carry the luggage.
He's feeling mopey, noticeably. And at that, Cleoc, you notice Nurisil do something that you remember similarly had happened before, of a certain cantrip. And Doran starts
Does he need
feeling...
to make a charisma save?
Yes.
That's a yes on the charisma save?
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to save against that. That's a 9.
It's a what?
It's only a 9.
Yeah, no. So you now feel inclined that maybe you shouldn't have been so harsh to Nurisil, and, you know, the taste's not so bad.
Doran stops and says, I'm sorry, that was rude of me. Nurisil, was it?
Yes.
Oh, it's... feeling rusty is... I'm just feeling a little rusty my techniques for, certain, applications of my skills.
Doran just sees, like, this straight, just blank face.
But as I said earlier, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'll be back on my game before you know it. But I appreciate your concern.
Certainly. You are now part of our group. Thus, you are a friend.
And given it's an 18-day journey, maybe I'll get another chance to try again.
I would urge caution on that front.
Well...
Freyan may be a more likely candidate, or maybe Rio.
Oh, really? What? Why would that be, Nurisil? I mean, what's...
They plan to stay around where Aiden plans to leave.
So what's one of Rio's favorite things?
Doing nothing.
Here's where I wish my character was here.
That doesn't help me. Like, does she like always go for like the same like set of flowers or?
I have not seen her with flowers.
No, I'll keep an eye out and see what Rio really
Last
likes.
I knew, she was helping work on the boat, attempting to have some inflection. So Nurisil's trying to start understanding this whole aspect of communicating.
And Ursul looks young, right? If I remember right.
He looks like you can't tell his age. Like, the whole he's blank-faced is literally, like, you can't tell his age.
So, just to make sure, you weren't trapped in one of the soul gems like us, right?
I was not. I was from the Dying Sphere.
This conversation turned dark real quick. My apologies.
My patron
But
is... Sorry, what were you saying?
we should hurry up and get back to the ship before the lady Aiden gets impatient.
She is following us. I do not believe she will fall that far behind. Nahara will watch and shed light if needed to the placement of her.
That won't be necessary. But thank you, Norrisil.
Certainly. Cleoc Nursil then falls back to you. Doran said he is rusty. You may need to assist him in his skills. Cleoc.
Doran, not Doran, or Norrisil. We'll have to keep an eye out on him.
I watch most everything that I can.
His mouth might get us in as much trouble as... Or he might get us into a little bit more trouble than it's worth.
Well, we will watch him and I may be able to help if there is problems.
I'm sure you will. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. For all of our sakes.
And so back to the ship we go, and everyone is able to get on. And who's going to be helming the vessel?
All right. So we'll need multiple people to helm the vessel. Cookie is one volunteer. Who else would volunteer?
I can if you want. That was 2 people, Cookie, if you were.
Okay, we'd be best off with 6th level casters, full casters.
I don't need Squeak speaking into my mind to know what that said.
Cleoc, I think no, you can't. Ryu. We found a job Ryu can't turn down.
Ryu, Cookie, Nurisil can all do so. Full casters would not include Yonovan and Cleoc. Full casters in the new group would include Hestra, Squeaks. I think that's it. I don't know if anyone else is a caster in the new group.
My second character will be some form of caster, but not the first one.
Yeah, I didn't think Doran was, and I didn't think Aerolith was, and I didn't think Freyan was, and I know who Group is not.
The new group consisted of a barbarian, 2 rogues, a druid, a wizard, and a... I don't know what... I don't know what a twin mind exactly is, but...
What is Aerolith? Just to help the group out, if you can explain class and abilities.
Well, basically, it's just a sword fighter. Russian background.
Okay.
Acid breath is a primary attack. Other than that, thanks.
Okay. So sword and acid breath. So fighter. Okay. Just want to make sure the whole group knew, because everyone knew rogue and druid, barbarian, wizard. So I just want to make sure everyone was aware of the classes. So yeah, Cookie, it looks like the 3 are the primary ones who can actually put the vessel at level 6.
Yeah.
So, Nursil,
Our ship.
Ryu, and Cookie.
Okay.
Where are you saying, Ryu?
Our ship has a battering ram, right? I'm asking for a friend.
Yes.
No. It is
What?
RAM.
It technically has a battering ram. We will not be using it.
The Hammerhead ship that you have selected to purchase actually is partially built as a Hammerhead because it is a blunt ram.
And let's hope we never have to use it.
So you notice that Ryu has been paying special attention to the front of the ship where the battering ram is, inspecting everything very carefully.
Ryu, I know how much you like weapons, but if you're willing to pilot the ship, it'll tire you out, but just think about it, we'll get there faster. When you're not piloting, you're welcome to be in the gunner role.
Yeah, oh. Looks like we're losing and getting a Rio.
Huh.
Just make sure they don't get in my way.
It almost looks as though you
I
would want
lost
them
you
to
for a
get in
little
your way.
bit.
Rio's response to that is, I'll pilot the ship. Just make sure they don't get in my way.
Who doesn't get in your way?
You know, them, as she gestures to the rest of the ships.
Um,
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Who is taking the ship out of port?
Not Rio.
Cookie.
Okay, Cookie, roll me a pilot check. Use your...
Now, I am trained in astronavigation, so how does this pilot check work?
This would be actually a Spelljammer vehicle.
You should be trained in that as well.
So it's
Yes.
I am trained in that as well. Okay.
Right. And what that would mean is you add your spellcasting class, ability modifier, and your proficiency. So basically, your spell attack bonus is what you would add.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Because that
Yeah.
would be bonus too. Yeah.
That's a pretty strong. No, it's not the spell attack bonus because that adds 8.
No, defense.
It's the. Oh, it's not the DC. It's the spell attack bonus. Yes.
Spell attack.
I knew we should have tried out the ship before. When things...
All right, and for me, that's 6.
Uh,
10.
I guess we'll be ramming dudes after all.
10's not horrible, guys. Let's see.
Pretty flat.
Well.
So
what's the DC for leaving port?
Takes it out of port very, very slowly.
Creates a backup line.
So you are able to take it out, but it is not very smooth. It's kind of jerky and
like that first parking lot drive.
Yeah. Luckily, you barely avoid hitting, but since you avoided hitting, you made it more jerky.
Yeah.
Saradin, you are very fast at that.
Wow.
Wow.
I forgot that scene. Thank you.
Yep. That was beautiful.
Perfect.
If you would have rolled well enough, you could have done the what's it called? Bugs. My brain's failing me on the movie right now, but it doesn't matter. So you were able to finally get out, and after a couple days travel, you're able to get to the sphere, the shell, and leave, and now are in the phlogiston, zipping fast. During the travel time of 18 days between the spheres, is there anything particular people want to do, or just get there?
Kleok wants to learn the combat capabilities of his new companions. Especially since Doran said he was very skilled.
So Kleok and Doran are going to joust. What is everyone else doing? Is I Am Group or Freyan going to be challenging Kleok for this as well?
He will be picked. I don't know if he's going to go full on dueling, but he wants to figure out, like,
Gonna have them face off against each other. You want to
at least ask them what they can do, like how skilled they are with a weapon, because he's seen, them carry around, various weapons, being, I guess, better armed than, let's say, the crew members.
Okay.
And that they were adventurers, but he wants to. Maybe he will spar with them a little bit if they would allow it.
Okay.
I guess
What,
he's not going to force a sparring match though.
You
Against
can
him.
catch projectiles, right?
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
So before we get to any more on that, let's quickly. What is everyone else doing? We'll quickly go through the list of what everyone wants to do, and then we'll go that way.
I Am Group will just explore the ship because he is curious. But other than that, he's probably going to get bored and start to get kind of antsy after
Not having sunlight for a few days.
Yeah, that's bad.
Doran's going to spy on Ryu. At the very least, try and figure out what Ryu likes and dislikes, since he didn't get a very good answer out of Nuriso.
Does I Am Group want Squeaks to go with him so that someone can speak if he needs?
He doesn't feel a need to ask.
Squeaks offers. Understanding the
More?
ability of not being able to people understand you can be difficult.
Huh. This is a new experience for Group. Group says yes.
Okay. So Squeaks will crawl up into I Am Group and kind of find a nice little place to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And they can work out a signal that I Am Group can do to get his attention to cast a message so they can talk.
Might have to get Nuriso to cast Daylight for a group a couple times during the trip.
That is possible.
Group is not aware of this ability.
No.
Yet.
But if I Am Group starts acting kind of down, Squeak will ask him about it. What is going on? You do not seem to be as well.
There is no sun here. I am starving.
Oh. Oh.
So you have to have light for your nourishment? There's no other nourishment you can consume?
I drink water, but I must have sun.
Interesting. Perhaps you should seek the captain and see if they have any resource that may work.
Yes. This place too dark. Group goes to, well,
Cookie?
Cookie. Yes. I
Did we establish who's the captain, or
well,
or are
Yes.
we all
okay.
considered the captain?
Technically speaking, a player ship is not supposed to have a captain. So in our perspective, we can treat it as a captain or not. Either way, someone's going to be helming it.
Yeah, which the helmsman and the captain aren't necessarily the same.
Yeah.
Cookie kind of is the quote-unquote captain since he's kind of been elected by everyone as the leader of the group.
And that's what we said when we were buying the ship initially.
Yeah. So you find Cookie. Give me a. Let's roll a d4 or a d6. You find him asleep, but he wakes
Yeah,
up.
piloting the ship.
No, I was asleep apparently because I figured a 1 in 3 shot of asleep, cooking, or piloting. But that's okay. What did you need? Group shakes the tree a little bit for squeaks.
He says that he needs light to be able to eat. Or was I in group going to say something?
Well, that's acceptable.
It's what he'd already told him.
Same group. You see, group is wilting. Oh, I see. Group is wilting.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
We don't have sun here, but our friend Nursel makes much light. Let's go talk to Nursel. There's probably, I calculate by the time I get done with the layout, there's going to be a few bed places, but probably most of our group's going to be one or two rooms.
Not Nursel.
Oh, where would Nursel?
Narsil doesn't sleep.
Okay.
Nursel is
Creepy.
just out and about. He barely eats or drinks anything, and he doesn't sleep. So he's always reading or watching or helming.
Okay. Well, we go out and find Nursel.
Alright. He's out there reading his book right now.
Nursel.
Yes,
Our new friend here, he needs sunlight. And of course, there's no sunlight out here in the Phlogiston. Can you do anything for him?
I believe I could cast a light. It depends on how long he needs it for.
Sorry, I wish I knew the mechanics. It it says you can survive your con score days without sunlight or oxygen, but it doesn't say how much. Oh, wait, it does. Yeah, 2 hours of sun. So probably like 2 hours of sun would keep him for a few days, but he'd be like a regular person who's sleepless.
Oh, bother.
Well, luckily I can do that, because I am a warlock. So I only need a short rest to regain my spells.
That's cool.
Daylight
Would
lasts
the
an hour, so it'd be 2 castings.
would
Yeah.
just the straight up light spell work as well?
No.
Or
Yeah, light's a cantrip, it's not full daylight. So you'd really need the daylight spell because it is full strength daylight.
that's fair.
Alright, so I am group can get his daylight cast and get some daylight while
I
Neracell's
am
not
group.
heading to hell.
Reaches, he doesn't move quickly very often, and he's not moving quickly now. He reaches to give Neracell a hug.
Neracell thinks nothing of it and does so back.
I am Groot.
I am glad I am any help, my friends. Let me know if there is anything else you need.
So I guess I am Groot will probably find Neracell once a day. Wow. That's cool. That is very cool. I did not really think that through while I put a tree on a ship.
No, but luckily I thought of something and have a star-based or light-based warlock for you.
So, out of character cookie, and I know it's getting pretty late for all of us, so I don't know
Yeah.
for how long we would normally go. But considering that I Am Group was part of an adventuring group that I assume got sucked into those soul gems in the same spot everyone else did, surely his old manner of travel had some sort of sustainment for him, right?
Either that or he went into comatose.
Well, out of character, his old friend who he traveled with is a tech frickin' genius. And probably built something appropriate.
Ah,
That would make sense.
I mean, that's what would make sense to me.
Alright, anything else people want to do on the trip? I know you said, Cleoc, that you wanted to check out the groups. We'll do that in just a minute.
and that Doran was going to spy on Rio, trying to figure out what she liked.
Right.
I
This could go very poorly, but I don't
hope
care.
so.
Let's
I
go with that
certainly
first.
hope so.
Doran, roll a stealth check. And Ryu, what's your passive perception?
One sec.
Okay. Yanovan, was there anything that you or Freyan wanted to do on this trip?
Fran's probably going around and exploring it. Going to places she shouldn't go. And
She probably gets annoyed with the fact that Neurocil seems to often show up.
be watching.
What are you doing here?
It's a 10, by the way.
Okay. What was Dorian's stealth?
16.
16. So, okay. You're able to
Nurasil's
spy
probably following Fran around a lot more because whenever asked that question, Fran goes, "Look over there," and then attempts to hide.
And he looks right back at her as he has a light right above her head, like on one of her items or something. Yes,
You see a
Fran.
very pouty
You
person.
have a
with
light. I see you.
Ow.
She starts walking off, or tosses the item that has a light, and a new item has a light on it.
Wah,
A
wah.
hooded, cloaked rogue with a light overhead walking around with a pouty face on.
It's great.
I have some
So,
tinker
Rio, what does Doran view you doing during this trip?
Well,
Probably
piloting the
doing a lot of
ship,
sleeping.
piloting the ship at excessive speeds, sleeping, skirting duties, eating, lots of eating. What else?
What's your favorite thing to eat? Just to give me something to go on.
Well, we're in the Flagstone, right?
Yeah.
Cold rations it is. Because isn't that the only thing you can eat in the Flagstone?
Unless you have other means of doing things, yes. No flame.
Right. So, I mean, like, cooking can make it taste like different things, but...
Prestidigitation to make it warm, but yeah, you can't make fire.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I don't know what else she would eat or that she knows. She would probably have the
That's
cooking
fair.
special.
There's probably some fruits and vegetables and stuff that you could have, but yeah, it's non-cooked
Probably.
substances. Doran,
You catch her...
Nursa was right.
a few days while you're
It's
doing
going to be
this,
harder than I thought.
like, you're watching and you say that, and like you turn around and Nura's still standing there looking at you. Hi, Doran.
What?
What are you doing? I
Well,
watched the
trying to-
crew. What is it that you are doing?
Same thing you do.
No, you are watching one individual, not the crew.
And Doran walks up to Nursa and whispers in his ear, "Look, I'm trying to figure out what Rio likes, and that kind of sounded like you're right. But can you keep this between you and me? Don't tell anyone."
If I have a reason to tell someone, I may. Otherwise, if I do not, I will not.
Yeah, even if there is a reason, probably don't.
Do you
Thanks,
seek
buddy.
lies, Doran? Do I need to show you
What?
the truth of light?
What'd you say first time?
Do you seek lies, Doran? Do I need to show you truth and light?
Oh no! I'm a perfectly upstanding individual. Am I still under the influence of friends?
Probably at this point you would be.
Crap. um. I'm sorry, nurse.
You
So
can
I
roll
will
another charisma save if you want to verify, but you probably would be.
But my apologies, nurse. So I will attempt to be on my best behavior.
As he goes to say that, I need you to roll a con save.
A con save. I'm not nearly as good at this as I am to.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you won't take any damage.
I thought combat between party members was supposed to happen.
Oh, it's not combat.
That's an 11.
Truth and light must reign. And as he says light, daylight shines out and basically blinds Doran. Temporarily, but an unexpected burst of daylight appears on the, deck at this point, and probably draws.
Is that a hostile action, and now friends doesn't affect me now?
I wouldn't say necessarily that daylight is a hostile action, because it is a side effect that you were blinded and because you weren't ready for it.
Does a 10 perception see this?
You probably see a beacon of light, yeah, but you've seen it before.
I look over suspiciously, like, what's going on, guys? You woke me from my nap.
The light dims back down. I am sorry, Rio. You may return to your sleep. Doran,
Thank you.
We're having a discussion.
You're not sorry. While Doran stumbles his way back to his room.
Doran, do you need a hand? I did not mean to blind you. I just seek
No,
to show
thank
you
you.
the light.
No, thank you. You've helped enough for one day. Thank you.
Nursel's gonna make sure he gets back to his bunk, and if he trips and stuff, we'll go ahead and heal him.
That's awfully kind of you, sir.
Yonovan, you doing anything?
Yes, I am busy in the workshop, just clinking away, ignoring all the drama around me. I'm working. I think I'd initially tried to make a site in the past and don't remember if I had actually succeeded or not. And my modification does not show that I have one attached, so I'm going to make that now.
Roll a tinker check.
Haha. It's a 19 on the die plus like 7.
Yep. So you actually are from now on able to craft your thunder cannon stuff without rolling. You've gotten proficient enough that any of your standard thunder cannon stuff you're able to do just because of your understanding of them.
Cool. I had either level 4 or 5 a magical item to create that I never did. Due to me seeing this tree that looks mopey, I want to see if I can work with Narasil and imbue his daylight magic to a lantern. Because I've learned how to store magic items, but I've not seen a need for it yet or a use for it.
That would probably be a tinkering effect to build something to harness it, or what aspect would you do?
Yeah.
I could see it being Arcana as well.
Because I've stored things and I figured out how the magic of the crystals works, and so I want to take a large gem.
So you're going to use one of your gems to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a either Arcana or Tinkering check. Both would use Int.
Yeah, well, I'm proficient in Arcana and Tinkering, but Arcana's only a plus 5, so I'm going to go Tinkering.
Tinkering should be Int-based as well, is it not?
Well, I rolled a natural 1, so it doesn't really matter much.
Okay. Yeah, you're not able to get it quite worked out. You think you have an idea, but it's going to take some more work.
Yeah, I've only captured my own spells, no one else's.
Right.
Although, now might be a good time to mention. Remember when I threw those coconuts? Yes. You said I'd have advantage on my next tinkering check.
I did. I forgot about that. I did, though, yeah. Would you like to take advantage of that?
I would like to try another staff.
Go for it.
Nope. 8.
8 total?
Yeah, rolled a 3.
Okay.
Rolled a 1 and a... Oh, well.
Well, at least you don't have disadvantage the next time you want to roll for this item.
Yeah, that's fair.
And were you wanting to look at growing the crystals?
Yes, I very much do want to look at growing crystals.
Do an Arcana check.
$18, and I rolled it for one more time. That's 11.
11? Okay. Are you having anyone help you, or are you just doing it on your own?
Is anyone else sneaking up on my... with all the noise I'm making?
You probably have people peek in on time to time. It's more, do you want to ask someone for help during this?
Well, if I saw someone watching, I'd ask.
Well, I'm just going to say you probably would need someone who's a caster.
Yeah, if Squeaks is around.
Nursa watches everything at this point, so...
I bet Squeaks would be interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, you see I Am Group and Squeaks walk by at one point, and they look in. You see I Am Group there, and then you see, in his branches, you see the mouse, Squeaks.
Hey, Squeaks.
Greetings, Jonathan. What is it you're doing?
Well, I was trying to make some sort of lantern that casts daylight for a group there, but I'm going to have to work on that more later. Right now I'm trying to grow more of these crystals that I crush up and use as a force powder instead of gunpowder in my thunder cannon. And I'm trying to figure out how to grow them. I'm not quite sure.
Hey, I Am Group, I'm going to quickly see if I can help Jonathan on this. And
I Am Group.
You can roll with advantage, Jonathan, since you're gaining an assistant in this endeavor.
Okay, that's 16 plus 5. That's a 21.
Excellent. You are able to start understanding how they work, and when you are within a sphere, you can start to grow some.
Okay.
You basically use the weave to make them grow, which it's not quite as available in the phlogiston. It is, but lessened. So when you're in a crystal sphere, you'll be able to start cultivating some of them, essentially, and start basically having like a little crystal farm.
Alrighty.
All
Does
right.
it need sunlight?
No. It needs magic. The other option is basically you pour your own energy into it and tire yourself out every day. So you can either tap into a caster's abilities similar to a helm, or you can be within a sphere and tap into the latent energies.
Well, I will spend my spell slots for the day to create sort of lattice work on the wall of my workshop area just to get it started.
Okay. That works. And I think that only leaves Saradin, I think, left.
Quick question, Yonovan, how big do you envision your workshop to be?
2 to 3 squares. Not 5 feet by 10 feet, maybe a little bit longer, depending.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
okay, I was expecting it to be much bigger.
It was a compact cart that I've now like spread out a little bit from.
Okay. Thank you.
The workshop on the Galleon wasn't that big.
But on the Galleon is actually fairly large. On the Tradesman, it wasn't very big.
I mean, it really depends, because I could do it like down a length of the boat, so like 20 feet long and just still narrow, depending on spatial requirements.
Okay. Noted.
A cart is probably 5 foot by 10 foot.
It's workbench versus room needs.
Yeah, but you might not be the only one who needs access to a workroom.
Yeah. I hang up my tools on the wall when I'm done.
You don't put them in your bag of holding.
Well, guys,
No,
it's getting
always
pretty
back
late.
So, all right.
Back
Well, we
home,
will pick
working.
up at the sphere of Garganov next week, and
Awesome.
we've had an interesting trip so far.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, thank you, guys.